cayenne pepper, where is it? Cayenne pepper is a remarkable herb. You might be familiar with the book Back to Eden by Jethro Kloss. It's a whole book on herbs. He devotes half a page to every herb and 10 pages to cayenne pepper. Quotes a couple of doctors that use it in their practice, and one doctor says it's impossible to abuse cayenne pepper, and you will never cause a lesion. That means it cannot hurt you. Keeps cats off the garden. Wallabies? I'm trying to get wallabies out of my roses. And you can use it internally and you can use it externally. So internally, you can use it for sore throat, cayenne pepper for a sore throat. It'll tingle at first, but when the tingling goes, you'll get relief. You can use it to increase hydrochloric acid if you've got low hydrochloric acid. Let's face it, it'll wake anything up. It'll heal a stomach ulcer. So you can use it internally also to thin the blood. Not only does cayenne pepper thin the blood, it opens the capillaries. It can help to heal the lining of the arteries. In fact, there is a book, and you can put this into the web. I think it's an e-book. It's called Curing with Cayenne by Sam Biser, B-I-S-E-R. He's a medical journalist, and the whole book is on cayenne pepper. And he says in that book that you can heal heart muscle with cayenne pepper. It's a remarkable herb. You see, the life of the flesh is in the blood, the Bible says. One writer called the blood the river of life. And as you'll see tomorrow when we study hydrotherapy, any area in the body where you can get blood to that area, it will heal. And that's what hydrotherapy does, is it moves blood, because the blood is the healer. Well, cayenne pepper moves blood. It brings blood to any area that you apply. Some people are a bit cautious of cayenne pepper because it's been classified as a stimulant. But it's not like caffeine or alcohol or cigarettes, which are nervous system stimulants. It's a blood stimulant, and anything that stimulates blood is stimulating the healer. You see that? I had a lady in a cooking class who was in her 80s. It was a few years ago, and she had a heart attack. One of the staff said, "Barbara, quick, lady's had a heart attack." So I ran down. She was lying on the floor. She was half conscious. Her face was white. One of the guests, this guy, was holding a pulse. He said, "The pulse is nearly gone." I said, "Quick, cayenne pepper." So we grabbed the cayenne pepper, and I got about a half a teaspoon on a spoon. It's about that much, and I just put it straight into her mouth. And she was half conscious. We got her a little bit of water, and she drank the water. And all the colour came to her face, and it must have been 2 minutes, and the guy holding her pulse said, "The pulse is strong." And the lady sat up and said, "What happened?" All the guests were going, "Oh," because there was a whole heap of people there. I said, "It's not me, it's the cayenne pepper." It's remarkable. What did that cayenne pepper do? It immediately thinned the blood. It immediately opened the capillaries. And remember, 1 minute for 1 drop of blood to go around the whole body. And that's why in a couple of minutes we had a result. So it's a remarkable herb. I travel everywhere with it. Just in case there's a heart attack on the plane, well, they'd probably take me to jail. But it's there. I've got it there. It's a remarkable herb. It's the most powerful blood thinner. And tomorrow night I'll be talking about heart health at the Workers' Club, and I'll certainly be talking about cayenne pepper. There's no need to take rat poison, warfarin. They give it to humans, not enough to kill them, like rats. But we had a lady who did our program last week, and she'd been on warfarin for 25 years. She changed specialists, and the specialist was horrified. She'd been on it that long. It's a very dangerous drug. Do you know what had been happening to her? She's getting eye bleeds. She's bleeding through her urine. She's bleeding through her bowel. She's getting bleeds everywhere because this thing is a blood thinner. Why was she on warfarin? She had a skiing accident. She hurt her knee, she dislocated it, and they put it in plaster, and they didn't put it in right, and it was paining, and they wouldn't take the plaster off. She ended up like so frustrated, she took the plaster off and her leg was black because it was blocking her circulation. And then they wanted to amputate it. She was 30 at the time, and she said, let me try, and she was able to help her leg. But she ever had this lump behind her leg that whenever she did too much exercise it would come up, and so that's why they had her on warfarin. She came with her daughter and she said she's been off the warfarin for 2 years now and she feels so much better. Only they've known about the cayenne pepper. Now a lot of people are told that after the age of 40 everyone should be having half an aspirin to hit their blood thin. You've heard that? Well, all you need to do is drink 2 litres of water a day. That's the best blood thinner. And take cayenne pepper. What the research is showing now, that aspirin's causing brain bleeds. There's a contributing factor to Alzheimer's. It's causing eye bleeds, which is contributing to the deterioration of the eyesight. Whereas cayenne pepper, because of the increased blood flow it causes, sparks up your brain, improves your eyesight, because it affects blood. So you can take it internally. How do you take it? You can sprinkle it on your food, but not everyone likes it. So you can start with 1/4 teaspoon in half a glass of water. I'm going to demo that to you. Now, if this is going to cause me trouble, you'll know, won't you? So I've got about 1/4 glass of water there. Actually, I'll drink a bit. I'm going to put about 1/4 teaspoon there. So I've got a nice red colour there. And why I'm doing this is I want to tell you at every stage what's happening. It's a nice warm one. Right at this moment, my lips are okay because I didn't touch it, but I've got tingling in my mouth. I've got a lot of tingling in my back of my throat. Notice I called it tingling. Oh, it's reaching about here right now. Lovely warm feeling. Oh yes, it's just coming down into my stomach and it's a lovely warm feeling. The tingling in my throat has already eased. You see, it's not for long. It's not for long. Oh yes, my whole of my stomach is now nice and warm. It's the best way to take it is by mouth. Now that looked like, did you think that looked like quite a strong dose? But it has not caused me discomfort. Notice I'm not perspiring profusely and I'm not coughing my head off. Isn't that what you would see? Oh yes, nice and warm in the stomach now. It's the easiest way to take it. Already the tingling in my mouth has virtually stopped. The intensity in the back of my throat has totally eased. So you see, it's not much discomfort at all, and it's the easiest way to take the cayenne pepper. Now I'm going to show you how you can apply the cayenne pepper externally. Why would you apply it externally? You would apply it to move blood to that area. Now if someone had hypothyroidism, that's underactive thyroid, they could make a little compress like this and apply it to their thyroid. It'll wake anything up. It'll warm it up. If someone had overactive thyroid, what would they apply to their thyroid? Ice. It's quite simple, isn't it? Just basic. Now, I'm going to pretend that that Jeremy has lost the feeling in his feet. And I'm going to show you how you can apply cayenne pepper compress to his feet. Would you like to take it? We'll just do it to 1 foot, but you'd usually do it to 2. And I've made it to about the size of his foot. And you're doing kitchen paper and you're doubling it. And I've got some Glad wrap there. And you put a little bit of olive oil on the cloth. And what the olive oil does is it causes the cayenne to stick to the cloth. Don't want too much. I think I've put too much on. I'll take a bit. just a little. So now I will sprinkle the cayenne pepper onto the cloth, and you put on about half a teaspoon. I'll hold this up in a minute and show you what it looks like. Now, if Jeremy has lost feeling in his foot, and that is common if someone's had hydrotherapy, they suffer from, it's called peripheral peripheral neuropathy, meaning they've lost the feeling in their feet. Now the reason you put the olive oil there, see, if the olive oil wasn't there, all that cayenne pepper would have fallen off by now. So that's about how much you do. And what I'm going to do is put Jeremy's foot on that, and then put the plastic over and put a sock on. Now, Jeremy doesn't have peripheral neuropathy, and if I put it on his feet overnight, by about 3 in the morning, he would be waking up because his feet will be getting so hot. And if someone's got peripheral neuropathy and don't have feeling in their feet, when they wake up in the morning, they'll have pins and needles. What's pins and needles? That's the first sign of life coming back into the foot. Now, if someone doesn't have feeling in their feet, and often diabetics don't, people that have had chemo often don't, you cannot put their feet in hot water. If you put their feet in hot water, they cannot tell the heat and you can damage the tissues. So you cannot do that, but you can do this. And often people with peripheral neuropathy, they do not have, their feet are always cold. And if the feet are cold, you know what that means? There's not much blood going into the feet. And if there's no blood going in, there's no healer, no life going into the feet. And so the toes can start to die. And if someone has toes that are starting to die, you put this on their feet and they will not lose their toes. Isn't that good news? Because all you're doing is pulling the blood to the area. So now I'll show you how it's done. So the foot, it goes on, and then the glad wrap goes over. Where's sock? That's a very easy poultice, isn't it? So that's what you do for someone that doesn't have feeling in their feet. Remember, you never put their feet in hot or cold water, but that will warm their feet. We have quite a few ladies that come to our health centre who complain of cold feet. They've always got cold feet. And it's a day like this, and I look at their feet and they've got sandals on, and I say, well, no wonder your feet are cold. In the cold, you've got to warm them up. You see, perfect health requires perfect circulation. So if the feet are cold, you haven't got blood going down there. So what we do is we put these cayenne pepper compresses on their feet overnight, and in the morning they've got warm feet. Now I say, buy some Ugg boots, buy some woolen socks, keep those feet warm. So because Jeremy doesn't have peripheral neuropathy, we can take it off. Okay. Thank you. You can put that on there. And I just fold it over like that and wrap it up, and then it's ready for them to use. And as you can see, it's a very easy poultice to use. Cayenne pepper can also be sprinkled into a cut, and it will heal the cut. It'll cause it to pull together. Won't it hurt? Well, it's already hurting, so a little bit more hurt's not a big deal, and it doesn't tingle for long. And remember, when you apply it, just smile. And when you smile, then everyone thinks everything's fine.